Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
here
you guys
we
are
go,
homeboys.
guys. Yeah, we are homeboys. Just like this song, man. And here we go. Bbyong. He is 4-2 in Pro League this year. 6-6 versus Terran overall.
Yep. Was pulled out for CJ Antis in a recent Ace match, which is where he was able to get a win. Kind of coming into this season of Pro League as being one of the most winning Terrans. I believe he did pretty nice last season as well. Has always been, just behind Hero in terms of, his position on CJ Antis. Probably second place for a long time, but recently coming out a lot in Ace matches and doing pretty well here for CJ Antis.
Yeah, he's definitely been a rock for CJ. And here we go, Maru, and you can count on him. He is a fantastic player and has been for a very, very long time. The Marine Prince, some call him. And he's 2-3 this year, 4-2 against Terran overall. He's always had fantastic TVT.
Yep.
But we have not seen that in a little while, Valdez. In a little while.
We saw him do it against Marine King recently, where he went into the main.
Everyone's done that versus Marine King. Yeah. Everyone's done that versus Marine King.
That's what I was going to say, man.
Doesn't count anymore, Valdez. It happens too much.
It's like, no, it was against Marine King. It doesn't matter now.
Actually a thing. And he also qualified for IM Taipei recently, beating Dream and Sorry, which is also very impressive.
Yeah, man.
As this game loads up.
This guy's a 6-hit player. We're about to go into Bbyong versus Maru in our fourth matchup. Let's get into it. Up here in the top left in the red for CJ Antis, it is Bbyong.
And in the bottom right, it is the Gina player, Maru. And a funny note, both these players have only won against Terrans that are named Marine King this year.
Wow.
2-0 versus Marine King is Bbyong, 1-0 is Maru.
That's pretty interesting stat, actually.
Pretty funny, right?
Yeah. Marine King kind of just being the, I don't know, the beanbag for these guys to just hit on.
The boxing bag?
Yeah, the boxing bag, I guess you could call it.
Not the beanbag, man. You sit on a beanbag. I don't know if they was sitting on Marine King or not, but...
Well, I guess you could look at it that way. That's kind of the way that Maru made it look. Going in and out of the main.
Sat on him?
Yeah. We
are seeing that first-person view pretty early. See those what they do in the kind of when there's nothing much to do.
Yeah, man.
Spamming the SCVs and spamming the...
This guy's APM is sick.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was pretty fast at that, but I'm an old man now, so.
Oh yeah, man. Those crinkly fingers. We were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, dude. I'm old and I'm salty about it, dude.
Well, don't get too salty. Still a great player. Still GM in Korea. It's pretty impressive.
God bless you, Valdez. We are seeing a gas first from Maru. Bit of a later gas from Bbyong. Bit of a more standard sort of gas timing that you'd see in the olden days.
Yeah.
Back when I was a player.
All right, Moonglades. I feel sorry for you, but not that sorry.
Just playing.
SCV going to come out here.
I think this is going to be a Reaper timing from Bbyong, by the way.
Looks like it. Like I was saying before, pretty good for the map. He is also sending in that SCV, though.
Well, it's going to be Marine timing. Never mind. It's going to be a bit of a later factory, I suppose, compared to what Maru's got planned. The moment that Rax finishes, throws down a factory.
Yep, there it is, as you guys do see on the first-person view.
Yeah, thank God I got that right then.
Well, SCV now of Bbyong going to come in here and see that very fast factory. Can assume immediately what's coming his way. You may want to stick around and see if that second gas is coming down soon. But it looks like he's just going to leave for now. We'll go back home. Second gas, however, coming up here for Bbyong.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what he's going to go into. Most likely, I would have to say, would be Banshee with the second gas this early, as we did see in the previous games. It only makes sense that Banshee with Cloak would be better way to put it. Whereas we see Maru went for an early Tech Lab, and he's going to build a starport on top of that. Okay. different way of kind of approaching things, it seems.
Yeah, he's got that starport on the tech lab, but still no second gas. Kind of favoring making some Hellions and more Marines so far.
Yeah, I wonder if the next step is going to be, I guess it's just going to be straight up no reactor just yet, which is one interesting thing to note. I thought maybe we'd see a reactor on the barracks, so there'd be like kind of reactor Hellion with Banshee, which is a style we have seen a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Not just yet, though. He's going to be saving all his gas for that Banshee to get out ASAP. And there we go.
Yeah. First Hellion out on the map. Second one coming along as well. I think he's got about 3 Marines in the mix. But for now, just scouting ahead with that Hellion. Sees one Hellion of Bbyong and will back away. Ooh.
Okay, going for the Raven. Obviously, a lot of very great unit to have, but there is no click on the map, so not necessary. But whenever a timing comes, whenever a fight comes, obviously point defense drone and the turrets will help out a great deal.
That they will. Very similar CC timings here, but the CC of Maru is on the low ground, so that is something he's got going for him. We'll be able to immediately start mining instead of having to lift, usually after the orbital command is made.
And we are seeing that reactor finally added to the factory. While the Marines continue to be made, I just wonder, maybe we will see sort of a more mech style from Maru, or at least a Hellion Viking sort of style that we have seen in the past as well. You know, I've seen that Banshee going, but it's going to be intercepted by a lot of Marines, as well as a Raven. Still can find damage because it is only Marines, and it's not many. You can actually wipe them all out, forcing him to put down a turret to defend that CC SUV.
Really nice micro out of Maru so far. Whoa. As I say that, he gets really close to dying, and he actually loses that Banshee, so I take back my words. Sorry, Maru.
You cursed him. You cursed him. But it's okay, and we are seeing that. Okay, reactor Marines. The factory will remain stationary for now. And a third CC actually added for Bbyong.
And for Maru at almost exact same time.
Wow. How interesting. Is playing very, very similar. I guess this map kind of grants you a little bit more leeway in defending and whatnot, so you can be just that little bit more greedy compared to, say, Catalina.
Hellion comes up, at least identifies the fact that one gas is up so far.
Ooh, how did he get out of range of that? Oh my god. I can't even do that with my Zerglings, man. That was crazy. He's going to take a lot of damage from these Hellions, though. He's going to have to burrow it again. Ooh.
Pretty low there. Really nice scout, actually, with that scan. Gets the timing on the CC. Sees that it's pretty much in time with his own CC. We'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we're kind of going into the same sort of style as last game as well, just with an extra CC. It's going to be that Marine tank sort of play with, obviously, air control going to be very, very important when going into the mid-game. You see a Raven out for both players now, as well as the same Viking count. Kind of very, very positional.
Yeah, you know, we saw some interesting play. I know I like to mention it a lot these days because it was such a great match, but the TY versus Guilty one, kind of similar. Usually kind of decided by your positioning, which is pretty much what TVT is all about. And one thing that our observer actually pointed out, which is very nice to note, is that Maru is pretty far ahead in SCVs, already up 8.
Yeah, that is actually quite an interesting fact, considering they pretty much had the same timings all along.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just because he was able to get that CC on the low ground. Just a bit more conscious of the fact, trying to get those SCVs out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to take that long to fly your CC down as well, right? I mean, it's not going to take 8 SCVs time. Like, at one point, Bbyong must have just simply stopped making SCVs for some reason.
Yeah. We do see his supply a bit affected by that. As you do see, he's now down 6 SCVs. Do see double engineering bay coming in here for Maru. He's going to immediately go into those +1/+1 upgrades for the infantry.
And we're seeing an armory nice and early, plus a second factory for Bbyong. So it looks like Bbyong going to be going into that mech style. So here's the deviation Valdez. Here comes. It's going to be very,
we were
very
waiting, man.
I can't wait, man. Like, finally. This is going to be spiced up, and we're going to have to wait and see how early is Maru going to kind of find out exactly this composition he's dealing with.
That is actually a 6 scan from Bbyong. He sees 4 barracks coming up. I think it's pretty obvious that Maru right now is going for bio.
That is clear cut, man. Doesn't get more clearer than that.
Yeah. I have yet to see a Terran who makes 4 barracks and then switches into mech, but maybe Maru will prove me wrong.
Probably saw like Reality do that at one point against the Protoss, like go for like mech bio or something crazy. Forget who he did that. Actually, it might have been against Zerg. That was a long time ago anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Whatever, Moonglade.
Whatever, dude. And we are seeing Hellbats and tanks being made, as well as a very, very healthy Viking count for Bbyong. It's going to be up to Maru to really identify this and start picking apart what Bbyong has. Really what it's going to come down to. You don't want to wait too long to start harassing a mech Terran. The longer they have, the bigger their kind of, I dare say, death ball becomes just that little bit harder to engage in. You really want to be dropping as best as you can. We do see some scans go down. He definitely has the idea that it is going to be mech. We do see a lot of Marauders in production now.
Yeah, another really nice scan. Interesting scan out of Bbyong. He actually scanned to the left of his natural. I guess was waiting to see maybe if a drop was coming in. Could be around this timing. You know, 4 barracks just got up. Get a bunch of medevacs in the mix if you want to go for that kind of drop style. But so far, no medevacs here from Maru. Just a lot of infantry.
That's right, and here we go. Maru moving up. 4 tanks with his Marines. Gets a good scan, sees where the tanks are located. Will he choose to go around? Will he choose to go to the bottom of the debris, or will he fight? He could just fight if he wants to. It's going to be a hard fight, especially in both cases. That's a lot of Vikings. Maru with a great engagement. Gets his point down. Defense turns down first, but that's not enough Vikings.
Yeah, no, where are all his Vikings, actually? We see the numbers up top are even, but seems like Maru didn't have all of his Vikings in the mix. Here are 2 of those that were late to the party, and they immediately get picked off, so immediately Bbyong able to grab that air control.
Yeah, Bbyong really taking advantage here. You do not want to be giving away that air advantage too easily, especially when it's tank versus tank. It looks like Maru's going to go for it. It's going to be a very, very hard fight. There's a lot of tanks in this lineup.
There we go. Immediately Bbyong dropping down those Vikings. Some Marauders in the mix doing a decent job. But again, all of those tanks in the back that were sieged up do a really nice job for Bbyong. And will immediately push that push away from Maru.
And Maru did not get a single tank in that engagement either.
Wow.
He got rid of a lot of Vikings. He got rid of a lot of Hellbats, but none of the good stuff. He really wanted to start resetting that tank count so he can be a little bit more aggressive with his bio style.
Yep, that's actually huge. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a very good point because right now, 8 tanks in the mix right now for Bbyong. He's adding some Banshees as well because he knows he has the air control. So far, really nice game here out of Bbyong.
Yeah, Bbyong playing a very, very solid style. Maru not finding a way in just yet. Just trying to figure out what he could do next because really, Bbyong has this on lockdown essentially. Very, very interested to see what Maru's got planned. Trying to get around this. He does scan into the main base, see exactly what's going on, sees 2 starports, 1 researching cloak.
Some Hellions trying to go for some damage, I guess, at the 3rd base, but they do get cut off by Maru. Look at this. Bbyong is actually confident enough right now to add 3 extra CCs. Whereas Maru right now, he's still trying to get damage done. He's still trying to get those upgrades in for his infantry. He wants to possibly drop into the main, but already 2 sensor towers are up for Bbyong. It's going to be really hard to drop into that.
Very, very hard. He has absolutely no air control right now. He's not even trying for it either. He has no sort of air units in production. He's going to try for a drop, but there is simply way too much. Now that Vikings are in position as well, hopeless situation.
Definitely not looking good. A really late cloak coming in for the Banshees for Bbyong. See how many he adds, actually. He goes up to 2 so far. It can definitely be really annoying just for harass later on in the game or adding it to your comp because he, of course, does have that air control still.
Well, I mean, it makes it just that little bit harder to deal with. You already cannot make Vikings against his lineup because he has way too many plus a Raven. Now adding Banshees means you're going to have to scan every fight. Here we go. Oh, there's no way in for Maru.
No way. He goes for a huge drop. Immediately one of the medevacs gets picked off. He's got tanks in his natural all around there. He's got 11 tanks, Bbyong does. It's going to be so hard to drop that when you have the air control right now. +2 vehicle weapons was also finished. He's even got armor on the way for his vehicles.
And look how many turrets we have on the side of these bases as well. Like, there is no way in. You're not finding any way in. This is on lockdown, man.
Yeah, man, we're taking a look at your observing PC, looking at all of those turrets at the natural. There's like 7, 8 turrets right now.
Oh, this could be an opportunity for Maru. He's coming in now before the tanks are sieged up, and he might have to pull back. Or is he simply going to go for it? Looks like he is. He's got a pretty decent spread. Now the Vikings are landing, and this should be more than enough to help clean this up and secure the 4th base.
Oh, but at the same time, he's going for a huge push towards the 3rd base. A lot of Bbyong's army out of position here, able to pick off a lot of SCVs. And it's going to force Bbyong to pull back towards that 3rd base.
Yeah,
Maru's just
very
going to get out of there.
Yeah. Great move from Maru. You know, he trades a lot of, to get rid of a lot of tanks. There's only 3 at that 4th base helping to secure it. You know what? If Maru knew, he might even want to try and bum rush that and try and just destroy it. He doesn't know for sure. It's a very, very hard position to kind of break into.
Yeah. One thing I noticed in that fight, the first one, not including that 3rd kind of mix that went in towards the 3rd, the Banshee's doing a ton of damage. Keep looking out for those guys. He's got 4 Banshees in the mix, but here we go. Immediately the Marauders jumping in. They do pick off 2 tanks, but the Vikings, they're picking off all of these medevacs.
Yes, they are. And now these Banshees should be able to clean everything up. We are seeing Thors being added into the mix for Maru. At the same time, Maru trying to storm the front of the 4th base. Only 1 tank kind of in position to kind of defend from this now. And it should go down from these Marauders. And for sure, this planetary will be crushed.
Oh man, Maru's doing such a good job of running Bbyong all over the map right now. You said Bbyong had a really nice tank count, but he's not able to utilize it too much now. Maru really coming into the 4th and to the 3rd. And now with those Thors in the mix.
Yeah, he's trying to fight the Thors with these Banshees. Never a good idea. So much damage going onto them. He lost most of them as well.
Yeah. And right now, 3-3 to infantry coming in here for Maru. About halfway done. If you can continue to keep picking off bases and just, you know, keep running Bbyong around the map and just getting some nice drops down. He does take out the sensor tower that was on the right side of the map, so he could possibly use that to his advantage and maybe attack towards the 3rd.
Yep. He's definitely in position to do it. The tank count is pretty low considering this time of the game. Do see about 8 tanks set up outside the natural and 3rd. Maru just staying on the same path with his bio. Good enough. He's got 2 Thors, which is more than enough to really deal with the any sort of Banshees added into this mix.
Yeah, man.
And he scouts it perfectly when this 4th base is coming up.
He can actually pick that off. The tank's not in position. Thors and Marines getting to work on that CC. It's getting really close. It's burning down.
Oh, yeah, he gets it.
Wow.
Wow.
And no response out of Bbyong. He didn't move his tanks. He didn't do anything. He didn't.
I guess he couldn't, man. I mean, like, he just doesn't have enough to really defend against this.
Yeah, you're right. And now Bbyong setting up a really nice position, or rather, Maru setting up a nice position up here. But the Banshees still got to be aware of those. Got to be ready. Threatening a scan, but still not going for it, actually. Taking a bit of damage here is Maru.
Yeah, I don't think he has any enough energy. Ooh, took a lot of damage on those Banshees. All of them in the red from those Thors. I'll not be doing that again until he repairs.
You know, one thing I'm noticing right now, which we actually haven't touched on, Bbyong trying to go this mech style. He's only got 3 bases. He does have those 6 gases, but Maru back at home with his bio style, he has total map control. He's setting up a huge position at the 4th here in the middle. He's taken out that CC twice. And he's got 5 bases at home. Well, he's got a huge economy behind this.
Yeah, another thing to note is, as well as Bbyong is running out of minerals. His natural and 3rd are running out very, very quickly. They're almost gone simply because there's so many CCs dropping mules that they're just getting farmed completely. And soon they'll be completely gone, and he's going to have to try and take a 4th base by force. And that'll be when Maru tries to take an advantage and attack.
Yeah, and I feel like Maru's actually identified this. He's saying, Bbyong, if you want to take a base, it's got to be the one over here to the right that's very far away from your 3rd. Yeah. And that's exactly what Bbyong is going for.
Yeah, he sees it.
But Maru, you know, he's got a huge setup here in the middle. He's making a bunch of turrets, even a sensor tower in the mix.
Rotating to that 4th base, but man, that is a lot of tanks to deal with now. 9 tanks with a lot of Vikings, but he's just going to go for it. Siege up was just a little bit too late,
And a lot of Marauders in the mix. The Hellbat's doing a decent job here, though. But the Thor's, again, doing a good job against all that air, but it is going to force Maru back. Just too many Hellbats in the mix, and all those tanks in the back able to eventually siege up.
Really ambitious attack there. I mean, he did get a few. He actually got like 2 tanks. Not enough for that supply loss. And still such a huge Viking number. He's going to go behind the mineral patch, which is probably the best idea. It was something probably the idea he should have had on in the first place. Like to safely kind of siege his base and stop it from mining. Set up some tanks at the back, and there's simply no way anything can be done.
Our observer is showing us, in fact, he doesn't have vision of the minerals just yet. He is going to go ahead and scan and get that vision. 2 Thors here to help against the air, so the Banshee's not able to easily pick these off. And this is actually going to force Bbyong off of mining.
Yep, completely. It's actually going to force him to move forwards. And is he going to wrap around, or is he simply going to go for an attack? Looks like going to siege up at the bottom. These Thors. Ooh, he could have been toast.
Maru right now, it seems like just trying to set up some kind of contain, deny the mining here at the 4th. Not really looking to do any drops into the main or natural like we were talking about before. So many missile turrets have gone up. If you guys look at the mini-map, you can see that ring. So it will be pretty hard for Maru to go for any drops. So he's just trying to...
He's trying to choke him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to choke him out, and you know what he's doing successfully? If he can stop this 4th base, but hold on a second, he's going to be running into the natural. These tanks are completely unprepared. There's simply not enough.
Picks off all these tanks. There's 3 more, actually 4 more here on the high ground. This forces Bbyong totally out of position. He has to pull his entire army totally back, and Maru could definitely go for a counterattack towards that 4th if he wanted to. Not quite going for it just yet. Going to come into the main and try to take out some tech labs, some add-ons here, do as much damage as possible.
Still got to be very careful. There are 5 siege tanks. Granted, they just unsiege, but maybe just a little too many. Maybe if he saw where the Vikings were, he could have maybe dropped on top of these tanks. Instead, deciding not to for now. And every tank going to stop these siege tanks from behind the 4th.
Yeah, man, he scanned that and he saw that and he's like, nope, I'm backing off of my Thors. Do not want to fight that fight.
Something to note as well, the 5th base sort of position for Bbyong does have the command center there currently. And Maru cannot let this go undetected for too long.
Yeah, he's actually got to identify that pretty soon.
Could be his way back into this.
Because, you know, he's done a really nice job of denying mining at that 4th base, but if that 5th base gets up, it's not going to be good news.
Here we go, sitting up in a really nice position. Every tank sieging up. And it looks like Maru's going to go for it. Got a nice little concave.
He really does. He's got a ton of Marauders in this mix, and look at that supply drop for Bbyong. All the Vikings trying to land here, but it's not going to be enough, and GG is called.
Jin Air.
Maru's able to take it, man. Unbelievable. Really nice job here.
Yeah, really, really interesting game. Great sort of maneuvering from Maru and just eventually choking out the mech player. Just could not get that 4th base up.
Yeah, man, we've seen mech style on this map a lot of times, but Maru's saying that he loves the mobility of the style that he went for. He went for an interesting like bio with a bunch of tanks and Thors in the back as well for support. Really worked out. Like once he lost control of the air, he actually like didn't try to, you know, make some secret starports and try to take it back or anything like that. He was just like, okay, you can have the air. I'll just make 2 Thors.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'll make sure you can't use Banshees, and from there I'll just scan a whole lot, make sure I'm in a good position, and choke you out, making sure you cannot get that 4th base. So very, very nicely done by Maru, and a great way to steal the win for Jin Air.
Yeah. Bbyong, he's going to have to come back another day. A bit unfortunate for him. If he took that win, he would have actually tied with Zest for the most winning player so far at 5 wins. But
yeah,
it's got to be a bit demoralizing for Bbyong.
Oh, well.
Also loses it for his team. This is actually CJ Entis' first loss of Pro League.
It is, isn't it?
Yep, and that's actually going to put them below SK Telecom.
Yeah, they only got 1 win today as well, so a bit of a blow for CJ. Great work for Jin Air. Trying to remember exactly where Jin Air was on the ranking.
They were 2-2 with a +2 indicator, so that would actually tie up Jin Air. No, not quite.
Maybe just
we'll get a look at those in a bit. But here we go, guys. This is the match result of today between CJ Entis and Jin Air Green Wings. Biel was able to take the first win for CJ Entis against SOS, but then Rogue took out Hero, Cure took out Sky High, and then Maru took out Bbyong in the second TVT.
Fantastic games. What a fantastic day, Valdez.
I had so much fun casting today, man. Actually,
it has been an absolute pleasure. And there you go. There's the final results for today. CJ still in first place for now, but Jinner creeping up into fourth place.
Yep. A lot of teams saying that Jinner, definitely one of the teams to look out for in this season of Pro League. They do have an incredible lineup. They didn't have as good a start as CJ Andis, but definitely look for those guys a bit later on. They're really starting to ramp up here.
They are indeed.